At the end of a long sporting career, it's quite nice just to hang up your boots and take it nice and easy. Oh, watch out!
Of course, how soon this happens depends on what sport you choose.
But in some respects, the sport can choose you.
For instance, if you're knee-high to a grasshopper, you're unlikely to be a championship rower.
And if you're banging your head on door frames, then basketball is probably a better bet than being a jockey.
Still young or old, short or tall, there are plenty of sports you can enjoy, whatever level you are.
And the health benefits are obvious.
So get in here then.
To be a top athlete in any sport takes not only dedication and skill, but also requires that you have the correct body shape. Generally speaking, your body type determines what sport you'd be good at. Rugby is one of the few games that suits all body types. If you're short and heavy, you're probably suitable for the front row of the scrum. But there are other times when being tall and light is definitely a bonus. This is Lilleshall in Shropshire, the headquarters of British Gymnastics. Joe Prescott is one of those people involved in the selection of junior gymnasts for further training. Much of her decision is based on the body shape of the gymnast. So Joe, why is body shape so important in what sport you play?
Well, all sports, or most sports, have specific requirements, and if an athlete's body shape or physique most closely matches those requirements, then they're probably more likely to be successful.
So Joe, what makes Scott so good at the rings?
Well, Scott's got a really ideal body shape for this type of activity. He's not too tall, he's got a very good strength to weight ratio, which means that he's really strong for the amount of body weight that he's got, and he's also very well conditioned for this type of activity.
He has been doing it a number of years though, which helps, I suppose.
Oh, that's right, he's been practicing for this kind of activity for many years now.
What about someone like myself? Would I be any good at the rings?
I don't know, you could have a go though.
As you come to the back, try and push the rings forward.
That's it.
So how do I go?
Well, like, a bit further.
Go on, let go there.
What, just drop in?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, Joe, I gave it my best shot. How do you think I did?
Oh, I thought you did really well for your first time. And how did you find it?
I found it really difficult. Obviously, a lot of strength is required, I think, particularly in the shoulders, biceps and the stomach. But I thought I really lost it at one stage when I went completely over and thought I dislocated my shoulders. But it really is a tough event. But I'm glad I've had a go. So we've got Derek on the rings now, and Derek plays basketball. How do you think he's getting on?
Yeah, Derek's doing well. Obviously, he's much taller and stronger than Scott, but he doesn't have the same amount of relative strength as Scott in his upper body. So I think he's going to find these swinging movements particularly difficult.
And then let go. That's it.
On the rings now, we've got Kerry, who's a weightlifter. How do you think she's getting on?
Again, Kerry's doing well. Although she's extremely strong, though, most of her strength is concentrated in her lower body and her legs, so therefore she's likely to find the rings quite difficult.
No. It's not going to just drop down.
Oh.
Joe, it seems yet again that height, particularly in this event, seems to be a disadvantage. Why is that?
Yes, we see that most of the tumblers have a very small, compact frame, which allows them to rotate very easily in the air to do their multiple somersaults. I think one way to illustrate that is by looking at these two coins and see how easily each of them spins in the air. So if you want to try to rotate that one.
A small coin spins very easily.
And now if you want to have a go with the medal.
And there comes big, lazy Guscott. The larger the coin, the harder it is to spin. So small gymnasts generally make better tumblers. Well, Joe, I've had a go at basketball. We've seen the basketball players on the rings, not really their event, but they've come into their own on this court.
Definitely, whereas their height was a disadvantage on the rings, it was much more of an advantage on the basketball court. And obviously, in addition to their height, also their huge arm spans give them a tremendous advantage in terms of reach.
How do you think the gymnasts are doing and Kerry the weightlifter?
Well, I'm really surprised. I think they're doing really well. Because obviously they don't have such an advantage in terms of their height, but they're really agile around the court, and also they've got a great advantage in terms of the amount of height they're able to jump.
And how about myself? How did I do?
Oh, I think you did really well. Obviously you're reasonably tall and also very agile around the court, so yeah, I think you did really well.
OK, Joe, I better get back to it. Thanks for that.
Thanks.
But sometimes you can use less conventional methods to reach the height.